Thank you for joining the AssistRx Patient Assistance Program Blueprint, Finding the Right Balance of Tech and Talent to Optimize Free Drug Programs webisode series. My name is Kathleen Chacon, and I'm an AssistRx Patient Solutions Site Director.
And I'm Brock Vandersteen, Vice President of Business Development at AssistRx. In this three-part webisode series, we'll talk about the current state of patient assistance programs, or PAPs, in the US, how to tailor your PAP to meet your stakeholders' needs, and how to build and maintain brand loyalty. In the first and second part of this three-part webisode series, we talked about the growing importance of PAPs, evolving needs of providers and patients, addressing those needs, and how the perfect balance of tech and talent can serve these populations. In today's webinar, the third and final installment of this series, we're going to be talking about how to optimize your patient assistance program to improve program performance and also drive brand loyalty. Specifically, we'll take an in-depth look at how to optimize your patient assistance program for therapy initiation and re-verification, review key metrics to measure program performance, and build and maintain patient and provider brand loyalty. Kathleen, talk us through PAP optimization.
PAPs can be very costly for the manufacturer. At the same time, these programs expand access, facilitate continuity of care, and build trust and positive brand association amongst your patient and provider population. So the advantages of a PAP can far outweigh the costs if a PAP is operated effectively. Eligibility determination for PAPs requires a substantial amount of information. It could be information such as proof of income, verification of lack of coverage and underinsured status, prescription information, and more. The process of enrolling a patient into PAP can be very cumbersome and can even delay access to therapy. If a patient's coverage changes after enrollment and is not caught, this can net millions of dollars in missed revenue opportunity from converted scripts. Additionally, you can be at risk of losing a patient to a competitor therapy that has favorable coverage under the patient's new plan. Re-verification periods for your PAP can be challenging for your staff, patients, and providers as well, especially if your PAP requires a prior authorization. Re-verifications must be completed rapidly and efficiently to ensure continuity of care for your patients. Additionally, the process must be seamless as possible for your providers. Even if you do everything right, your non-commercial pharmacy can still disrupt the journey. If your non-commercial pharmacy has a slow turnaround time, all the work you did to improve your patient and provider experience was for nothing. Fortunately, there are solutions to help streamline processes, improve speed to therapy, gain visibility, and enhance the patient and provider experience. In our last webisode, we discussed how to meet your patients and providers where they are to support them in initiating and staying on therapy. The key to success is having real-time electronic support services integrated in your offerings. So we won't repeat ourselves in explaining why leveraging e-support services like e-consent, EBV, EPA, and real-time electronic PAP screenings and enrollments are essential to 1, optimizing your PAP enrollment, and 2, optimizing your re-verification processes. But what we will dive into is how you can leverage real-time advanced coverage solutions to improve visibility into changes in patient coverage. Brock, take it from here.
My pleasure. As we covered in our last webisode, there are some game-changing solutions available that empower your patients and providers to check their eligibility for your PAP, enroll in the program, and even download a voucher or pharmacy card all in real time in one place. That same solution can be used during the re-verification period to identify if a patient can be converted to a paid script. The solution can also identify if a patient becomes at risk due to a change in coverage. And what do we mean by that? Well, advanced benefit verification solutions pull in real time the patient coverage, out-of-pocket cost, drug access restrictions, like if a PA or step edit is required, coverage alerts like an age limit, and fill options at multiple pharmacies. So let's say your PAP has an underinsured patient that changes coverage and is still determined as eligible for your PAP, but the patient's new plan requires a PA. Well, with advanced benefit verification, you'll receive an alert that the patient requires a PA and that this patient is now considered more at risk. These alerts trigger your patient support team to reach out to the healthcare provider to initiate the PA, as well as the patient to educate them on their new plan's requirements and what to expect, hand-holding them through the process of making it as good of an experience as possible. It's important to note that advanced benefit verification can be conducted at any time, and its ongoing monitoring and reporting enables you to improve conversions to paid script while also ensuring patients remain on therapy. So using these tools, you should be able to streamline the process and monitor your program for conversions and the patients that need more support.
But what if your non-commercial pharmacy is still slowing down that process? If your non-commercial pharmacy isn't dispensing within 2 business days after receiving a complete script, you have a problem. Meeting turnaround time SLAs is the minimum requirement you should expect. If one of your vendors also has a non-commercial pharmacy under its portfolio, you should consider this vendor first. For example, AssistRx reduced turnaround time for free drug dispense for a client by 53.3% after that client added free drug dispense to our Patient Solutions program. The client's previous non-commercial pharmacy vendor had a 5 to 10 day turnaround time for PAP cases. AssistRx was able to reduce that turnaround time to 3 to 5 days from enrollment to dispense due to our technology-enabled solutions, as well as the efficiencies gained by having a Patient Solutions program and free drug dispense program all under one roof. Your non-commercial pharmacy should also be another value-added touchpoint for your PAP patients and providers. Pharmacy staff should possess significant experience in your product's disease state and therapy-specific requirements such as titration and reconstitution, as well as the ability to communicate with empathy. Let's recap key metrics we've covered that you should track to optimize your PAP. We've talked about streamlining your enrollment and re-verification processes. We've also talked about making sure your non-commercial pharmacy is not only meeting SLAs, but also acting as another value-added touchpoint. Together, these factors create patient and provider experiences that will mean the difference between remaining on your product or switching to a competitor product once the patient no longer qualifies for your PAP. That's called brand loyalty, the final part of today's webisode. Brock, can you take it from here?
You bet. Nurturing an exceptional experience is what creates brand loyalty. Look at Amazon and Starbucks, you know when your package will arrive and how your coffee will taste, you know what you can expect. Providers, for the most part, share several expectations for your brand and your program. However, as you can see here with Dr. Alvarez and Dr. Anderson, their preferences may vary depending on their therapeutic area, practice setting, resources, and technology use. Your job is to meet these expectations and preferences in order to build trust and brand loyalty with your provider population. Patients are the same way. They have certain expectations from your brand and your program too. Their preferences also vary based on their disease stage in their disease progression, lifestyle, technology access and capabilities, and much more. At the very least, they expect to be treated with respect, empathy, and concern for their well-being. But tailored and valuable interactions are how you foster trusting, memorable relationships with your patients and providers, creating long-lasting brand loyalty. So what tools are available to help facilitate these experiences? Let's take a look. Beyond the electronic tools we discussed earlier, you also have data. For example, you have new enrollments and PA updates from your vendor, PAP enrollment alerts sent to field reimbursement teams, and real-time notifications about the prescription journey sent to providers. Your team should also receive ongoing trending analysis on their accounts, payers, and specialty pharmacies to identify average turnaround time, accounts needing further support, and patients more at risk due to their prescriber and payer profile. This reporting also helps your field teams set expectations with offices about average turnaround times, which is very important. By capturing everything up front electronically, your patients and providers should never receive a call to obtain information they've already provided. Automate wherever possible to free up your patient solutions team to deliver impactful touch points with stakeholders, and make sure your patient solutions team is using that time saved from all the manual outreach to create tailored touch points like celebrating a treatment milestone with a patient or wishing them happy birthday, something Starbucks does a great job of. It's that trusted, reliable support complemented with empathetic, personalized care that makes a difference to your patients and providers. Create the technology-enabled infrastructure in the background while facilitating talent-enabled interactions on the front end to ensure lasting brand loyalty.
These are all great takeaways to end the series, Brock. Thank you again for attending part 3 of the AssistRx Patient Assistance Program Blueprint, finding the right balance of tech and talent to optimize free drug programs webisode series. While this concludes the webisode series, we encourage you to keep the conversation going with us through our social media channels or by contacting us at assistrx.com. We also encourage you to check back for new webisode series and other industry insights and best practices written and presented by AssistRx leadership. AssistRx is eager to help you and your team transform lives through access to therapy through intelligent therapy initiation and patient support solutions.